It is getting warm and staying warm through tomorrow. I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. It is a little bit of a weather whiplash week with record heat through tomorrow, today and tomorrow. And then we are going to cool down slowly but surely Tuesday into midweek. And then maybe we warm up a little bit by the end of this week again, but we have a stationary front that is going to lay over our region and not move much, if at all, for much of this week, but at least we do see some sunshine on Tuesday. For the latest forecast, go directly to CWG.news/latest, but anytime you need us, we're at CapitalWeatherGang.com. Hello, Maria. Hello, David. Thank you so much for tuning in. Here's a quick look at radar. Not much is going to make it toward the I-95 corridor, but west of the city along I-81, we do have some radar activity. A couple rumbles of thunder and maybe even a lightning strike has been recorded earlier this afternoon and earlier this evening. And of course, record highs today at 3 airports. Nearest to DC was BWI and Dulles. We didn't quite get there for DCA Airport, but at National Airport tomorrow, we have a decent chance of at least tying the record with temperatures around 80 degrees tomorrow. We could see, as you see up there, gusty winds, maybe a severe thunderstorm or two, with the primary threat being gusty damaging winds. So we'll keep you apprised at capitalweathergang.com. And of course, make sure you're following us on all of our social media channels. We are on Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook, and I'm simulcasting to you on all three right now. And that's where we'll keep you posted, especially on Twitter tomorrow. We do some quick updates when we see some severe weather heading into our region. Just a small chance, but worth mentioning. As we have here, 11 and a half hours of daylight, sunset tonight at 6:06 p.m. Next week when you talk to me, it will be after 7 p.m. because don't forget, we've got spring forward where we lose an hour of sleep. 2 a.m. becomes 3 a.m. Next Sunday morning. So just shy of a week from now, you'll be talking to me an hour later. So this 6:06 p.m. sunset quickly becomes a little closer towards 7:15 p.m. by the time we talk next Sunday. So make sure you keep that in mind. All right, we've got David. Yes, those darn stationary fronts. That's going to keep us kind of sucked in for much of this week. So there's the forecast for you. I think we could see some chances of raindrops Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Tuesday could be our driest day of the week, but otherwise you're going to want to have maybe a small umbrella toting around Wednesday through Friday. So keep that in mind as well. Good evening, Paul. Thanks so much for tuning in. And Chris, miss you. If you moved away from the East Coast, I'm so sorry that we miss you here on the East Coast. And you saw snowflakes in Vegas yesterday. Indeed. Wow. Enjoy the warm up. Yes, we have a little bit closer to your Vegas weather with record high temperatures again possible tomorrow on Monday. Hello, Rick. Washington area is not quite done with snow for the season. We're not willing to put a fork in it just yet. Let's get through mid-March when we could see another cold blast come through. We'll keep you posted, not the highest confidence on that, but don't write off snow completely just yet. Remember, last year we saw some flakes in April and maybe even in May in 2020. So let's hold off on putting a fork in snow season in the DC area just yet. Lovely day for a walk, Mahia. I agree. We've got Duffy. Thanks for tuning in. And Jason, sun tomorrow could be patchy. I would call it mostly cloudy conditions with the rain chances tomorrow. Rain should focus on afternoon hours, especially right near sunset when we could see a couple gusty showers or thunderstorms, maybe even a severe thunderstorm or two tomorrow, so we'll keep you posted. It's not a high probability, but one or two is all it takes if you're unlucky enough to be under one. Damaging wind gusts are possible under the one or two severe storms that could pop tomorrow. So worth noting, not worth alarm bells, but want to make sure you are aware that the primary threat from any thunderstorms tomorrow could be gusty, damaging winds. Hello, Carol. Thanks for tuning in. And Christine, I don't think we're done with freezing temps. Unless you're downtown, maybe you could plant some stuff by the end of March. But even along I-81 last year, we had frost and freezes on Mother's Day. So it just depends on where you are. And Paul, hello. Thanks for tuning in. You haven't taken the plow off the tractor yet for that reason. Yes, we could see some snow before March is done. It's typically not quite the end of snow season, but nothing discrete or definite on the horizon just yet. Maybe a cold blast before the month is over into later mid-March time period, but we'll keep you posted at capitalweathergang.com. Hello, Anne. Greetings to you. And Jason, thanks. You're most welcome. And David, the wind should be kind of out of the east tomorrow more often than not. Yes, indeed. But so far, that National Airport, we're not worried about the record high tomorrow. It's more of a southerly wind that we have an issue with at National Airport, keeping those cooler water temperatures, kind of pushing that air off the water toward the thermometer at DCA Airport. Hello, Stephanie. Thanks for tuning in. And we were just talking about not planning too much, if anything, unless you're downtown. You maybe can safely plan things at the end of March, but we've had frost and freezes in April and even in May on Mother's Day along the I-81 corridor. So all you gardeners and planters, I know you're itching, you're getting spring fever like I am, but nothing to be crazy about planting just yet. Don't do any widespread planting just yet. Here's radar tonight. A couple rumbles of thunder out in the Shenandoah. Most if nothing should make it to the I-95 corridor. So keep that in mind. This rain generally stays west of town tonight. And here are those record highs we saw in the region today. And the latest forecast at CWG.news/latest. Anytime you need us, we're at CapitalWeatherGang.com. I'm Camden Walker. Thanks so much for tuning in to these weekly Sunday Sunset Lives. We're talking about the potential for thunderstorms tomorrow. One or two could be severe, maybe near or sunset is the time period we're looking at. And the primary threat, if we do see one or two severe storms, would be damaging gusty winds. So keep that in mind. Not worth ringing the alarm bells or having anxiety about tomorrow's storms if we see any at all. But there is the potential out there for one or two storms to have damaging wind gusts. So we'll keep you posted at CapitalWeatherGang.com tomorrow. And here's kind of the rainfall total we're thinking over the next day or so through the cold front moving through tomorrow night. 1/4 inch is possible, maybe 1/3 of an inch of rain. So that helps us in the rainfall department. Not that we're hurting, but we'll get to what the rainfall looks like in the region in just a moment. Wind gusts tomorrow, even outside of any thunderstorms or gusty showers, we're up there. It's a gusty day tomorrow, so please keep in mind 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts are not out of the question. Literally hang on to your hat tomorrow. It is going to be windy, and much of this week, I want to highlight, we could be gusty Monday, a little bit breezy Tuesday, and winds could come back later this week off and on. So we'll keep you posted. It is March after all. It's one of our windier months in DC, and the latest forecast right there at CWG.news/latest. We've got Pat. We are not behind on rainfall, but let's talk about that. Recently, we have fallen behind month to date, but guess what? Plenty year to date. And that's why we have no major drought to speak of anywhere in the mid-Atlantic. A couple abnormally dry spots here in the yellow, but farmers are generally happy. And the water table is definitely happy since we've had enough precipitation, snow, rain, freezing rain, sleet. It's all been able to seep down nicely into the water table. So drought situation, little if any to speak of, even abnormally dry in the yellow shading there. But down in the Carolinas along the coast, yes, that is the first level of drought down there. But overall, even east of the Mississippi in broader sense, we're doing much better than west of the Mississippi River in the drought department. And we've got plenty of rain totals coming over the next 7 days. Look at this, over an inch possible, if not much, if not all of the region, maybe except northwest of town. So that's also good news in the rainfall department, Pat. So I hope that helps allay any fears. Paul, do not drive the convertible tomorrow. I would not recommend that. And the last date we could get snow done, we've had big nor'easters pull down cold air out of Canada and throw moisture into our cold air, even into later March. But temperatures are warming under climate change, so it becomes a question as to how late in March we really could see kind of accumulating snowfall in DC. But we saw snowflakes last year in April. In 2020, we saw snowflakes in May around the DC area. So keep that in mind. We're not completely ruling out snow season is over just yet. Let's look ahead into Saturday. Warmth could try to return, but it could also be unsettled, so we'll keep you posted. I just want to draw your attention to the question marks, maybe another storm system coming through this weekend, but we could be mild, so that's some saving grace, even if we're a little bit cloudy, a little bit showery. And then looking further ahead into next work week, the atmosphere is leaning toward a slight probability of being above average. Now you might ask me, Camden, what is average for this time of year when we're looking at next work week? 55 degrees is finally, we're hitting right smack dab in the middle of the mid 50s by the time we get to next work week. So when we think the atmosphere is leaning above average in a slight manner, it could be a little more upper 50s, maybe around 60 degrees. Although probability here on this map does not necessarily correlate and indicate the magnitude of which we could be above average, but the atmosphere is thinking slightly about leaning above average for temperatures next week, and it's leaning slight probability of above average precipitation next week as well. So that is some good news again for gardeners starting to get that itch to plant some things. Hopefully nothing too sensitive this time of year until we get closer into April and May. All right, quick radar check. Rain is generally staying west of town tonight. A couple showers could make it into I-95 corridor, but we're more thinking tomorrow is the chance for afternoon showers and storms, some of which could be gusty. So please keep that in mind. Not a widespread severe threat for tomorrow, but one or two of the thunderstorms we think could move through nearer sunset tomorrow with the cold front could possess damaging wind gusts. So please just keep that in the back of your mind and stay weather aware tomorrow. All right, David, kite flying weather. Indeed, March has plenty of wind coming at us this week, as is typical for the month. Tomorrow and Tuesday could be windy tomorrow and at least breezy in the morning on Tuesday. So keep that in mind. And I wouldn't call any of the days coming out necessarily calm on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday when we have a stationary front kind of undulating and oscillating throughout the region, kind of hanging around, keeping us unsettled with clouds and showers and a nice breeze off the ocean, keeping a little bit raw at times, especially on Wednesday when we could be stuck in the 40s. The latest forecast right there at CWG.news/latest. Anytime you need us, we're on the blog at capitalweathergang.com. Yep, Lee indeed remembers snow in later March of 1993. That was the superstorm, I believe. Yes, indeed. And confidence for rain Saturday morning is low, Elizabeth. It's hard to make outdoor plans that far out. It's just the temperatures. I'm trying to give you a snapshot. They should be, pardon me, the eyelash, but there should be some mild weather at least to accompany what might be unsettled conditions Saturday and Sunday. We'll keep you posted. Confidence should rise in the next couple days or so. So as we get into midweek, we should have a better idea of forecast conditions exactly in a more detailed manner for the weekend. All right, so I really hope you can do that outdoor party for your boy. Elizabeth, fingers crossed. And David, the anniversary of the blizzard of 93 is coming up. Yes, indeed. And hey, Eric, thanks for tuning in from YouTube. Just a few gusty sprinkles here in the valley. Thank you for that. I am hoping you're not seeing too much heavy rain or thunder activity from that one piece of kind of gusty shower there on, it looks a little heavy out in the Shenandoah Valley. So thanks for that report, Eric. That's excellent. Elizabeth, you'll keep an eye on the weekend forecast. Thank you very much. And Julia, you're flying out Thursday. The weather for Thursday should be tolerable for flying. Don't see anything major. The National Weather Service thinks that there could be some sunshine on Thursday, but I don't want to give a high confidence assignment to that forecast because we do have a stationary front Wednesday, Thursday, Friday kind of hanging out through the region. The driest day should be Tuesday between weather systems, but then we could see some low pressure systems moving along that stationary front Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So flying conditions, no major delays expected Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But if you are walking outdoors among offices or between home and a long walk to your car or bus stop, take that small umbrella Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I would want to have that on hand just in case. Record highs today at Dulles, Martinsburg, and BWI. We should have a better chance at National Airport tomorrow of being able to at least tie a record for the date. And we talk about that in the PM update at CWG.news/latest. And of course, the radar generally quiet except west of town along I-81. And we should see a fairly quiet evening along the I-95 corridor, but rain chances go up again tomorrow afternoon and evening when we could see some thunderstorms move through, and a couple of those could possess severe criteria for damaging wind gusts. The primary threat is for damaging wind gusts tomorrow. So just want to make sure you're aware that we do have the chance for not only just everyday thunderstorms tomorrow, but a couple could possess some damaging wind gusts. Most of the severe activity should stay west of town of the I-95 corridor, but we can't rule out a few closer to the I-95 corridor tomorrow. Let's see, we've got rain amounts through the storms tomorrow evening, maybe a 1/4 inch or 1/3 of an inch. So any downpours should be pretty brief. Not adding up to all that much, but of course, most of us want a little bit of rain this time of year. We've been a little bit dry recently, but year to date, we're doing just fine. And that's why when we look ahead at the kind of drought situation, just these couple yellow patches around, abnormally dry here and there, but drought really not even until you get down to the coast of the Carolinas is there anyone really in drought. Julia, you're most welcome. I hope you take care and have a safe flight on Thursday. Let me know if anyone else has questions or comments. I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. We're talking about rain for the next 7 days. We could see a stationary front Wednesday, Thursday, Friday really lay down some rain. So we could have, by things all said and done, when you talk to me next Sunday for our weekly Sunday chat, we could have over an inch in much, if not all, of the region, maybe an inch and a half, especially south of town, where the stationary front kind of wants to hang out a little bit more frequently this week. A little bit of movement into, generally it's a stationary front though, this upcoming work week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. All right, here it is on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. I'm coming to you live, Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. Later and later, you're talking to me as that evening light continues to expand, the 6:06 sunset today. By the time we add an hour in for spring forward next Sunday, you're going to be talking to me closer to 7:10, 7:15 next week. So don't forget, you're going to want to spring forward those clocks at 2 a.m. on Sunday morning. It becomes 3 a.m. Yep, we lose an hour of sleep, unfortunately. But you will see me after 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Make sure you're following us on those platforms, but you'll see me again next Sunday at that time. All right, so let me know if you have any other questions. Charlene, not too much rain in the 7-day manner. Let's look at that forecast one more time. I do want to give you hope that there is some sunshine for Tuesday scheduled, though it could be a little bit breezy. And then yes, the stationary front kind of sets up shop Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Could we see an unsettled weekend with some clouds and showers? Yes. And yes, Martina, it's summer temps tomorrow. This more close to feeling like May. And yep, we need to have a little bit more spring, and our bodies need a little more time to acclimate as we come out of winter. A little bit of a shock to the system to be suddenly 80 degrees and definitely near or above record high temperatures. As we saw, some records were beaten today in the region, and we could see that again tomorrow, and even National Airport's record is in jeopardy. All right, I'm on the air another 3 minutes, it looks like. David, after 7 sunset, when you talk to me next week, indeed, we will be going later and later thanks to daylight saving time, the 6:06 sunset today. We add a little over an hour next week because 2 a.m. Sunday morning becomes 3 a.m. So you'll talk to me near 7:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time next week. So don't forget, I'll be nice and late in the evening hours as we get those later and later sunsets pushed forward courtesy of daylight saving time. So make sure you follow us on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. I'm simulcasting to all 3 of those right now for you. And anytime you need us, we're at CapitalWeatherGang.com. Let's see what else I have for you. We're going to look ahead briefly. Here is a 7-day forecast for precipitation. When all is said and done, when you talk to me next Sunday, we could have an inch and a half in some parts of the region. So we're doing A-okay in the rain department. Don't even need that much to speak of. Just a couple yellow spots there indicating abnormally dry conditions, but no drought to speak of until you get down to the Carolina coast. And here's temperatures for next Saturday. Just want to try and give you a heads up. While it might be mild next Saturday, there are question marks if we see clouds and rain, another storm system coming through. Forecast confidence for those outdoor activities, I know we talked about earlier in this broadcast, should increase a little bit by middle of this week, so stay tuned to CapitalWeatherGang.com as we get closer. Further ahead into next work week, the atmosphere has a slight probability, kind of leaning toward above average temperatures. For the benchmark of what average is by the time we get to next work week, right there, 55 degrees for next Monday's average high temperature at DCA Airport. So we could be at or above that when we speak kind of the start of next week. So keep that in mind. Here it is. The rainfall might lean above average for next work week as well. We'll keep you posted, but nothing indicates a washout of a week next week, but we'll watch the pattern for you, see if we have another stationary front setting up, but it doesn't look like that for now. And luckily, with the temperatures, we're not going to be too humid tomorrow, so that's one saving grace of being near or around 80 degrees. Doesn't look like it will be too muggy, even though our bodies are definitely having a hard time adjusting to these temperatures are over 25 degrees above average. Just to hit that home with you, we should be in the mid 50s, not around 80 degrees. Latest forecast right there for you at CWG.news/latest. Anytime you need us at CapitalWeatherGang.com. I'm Camden Walker. Thanks for joining for these weekly Sunday Sunset Chats. And we've got Kevin, who does not mind some of this. We want a little bit more cold perhaps in March. It sounds like you prefer that over to some of these above average temperatures, these record high temperatures we're seeing today and tomorrow. David, thank you so much for tuning in. You're most welcome. Paul, you're most welcome. Appreciate your tuning in all the time. Peter, hello. Thanks for tuning in. And I've got another 30 seconds or so. Let me know if you have any questions with a little bit of our roller coaster this week. Record high temperatures continue tomorrow. We cool way back down to below average temperatures for Thursday. Could be quite chilly and damp, a little bit raw. With some rain around, the stationary front kind of sets up shop. Perhaps Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but at least we have sunshine with decreasing breezes on Tuesday. That's kind of the gem of the week in a relative manner. And then do we warm up on Friday just a little bit into maybe Saturday as well? That's possible, but we could be unsettled with clouds and rain then as well as we go into the weekend. So I know we want to plan those outdoor plans kind of 6 days out from now next Saturday, but we need a little more time to get the forecast confidence higher for you before we can say anything definitively or definitely or with details as to what next weekend looks like. Just heads up that we could see some unsettled weather. And the final heads up, thunderstorms tomorrow. We could see a few in the afternoon and especially nearer sunset. Unfortunately around rush hour, and a couple of those storms could possess damaging wind gusts, so please keep that in mind. Primary threat of 1 or 2 severe storms possible along I-95 tomorrow could be damaging wind gusts, so stay tuned to us on our Twitter channels and all of our channels actually. Here we go. Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook, there we are, but our quick hitting updates are going to be on Twitter tomorrow most likely, and anytime you need us, we're at capitalweathergang.com. So there you are. Sorry for the messy graphics here at the end. Let's reduce those for you. And the latest forecast I can put back up there for you at the PM update at CWG.news/latest. I'm Camden Walker signing off. Thanks Elizabeth, Carol, and Charlene. Everyone have a good start to your week. Stay safe tomorrow. If we do see 1 or 2 severe storms, just keep in mind the primary threat is damaging wind gusts, but it's not looking like a widespread severe threat